Tszyu. There he is in centre ring now, Juan Laporte. Finally in centre ring in Australia, very well performed. Fit-looking 32-year-old. Ornament to the game of boxing is Juan Laporte. Uncut, unmarked on the face for one that has been in with the likes of Chavez, Sanchez, McGuigan and the great Azuma Nelson. He's never been knocked off his feet. And there'll be an almighty roar for the young Russian, now adopted by Australia. And he'll come in behind the Australian flag. And Kostya Tszyu for just 5 minutes and 23 seconds as a professional in betting. Much sought after here tonight. His trainer, Johnny Lewis, and there is the style, made famous by Jeff Bennett, who's co-commentating with me tonight. So there are the gloves on the back of Johnny Lewis and Kostya Tszyu, about to enter centre ring, and in comes Kostya Tszyu now. There he is, little bouncing Kostya Tszyu into centre ring. Bill Morty's just told me, isn't it great, Jeff Bennett? A turn-away crowd here tonight.
Before we ask you to rise to respect the national anthems, you should welcome one of the finest boxers to hold the World Welter and Middleweight Championships. He came out here to Australia in the 60s to defeat Ralph Dupar in 3 rounds. He is now training the occupant of the red corner, the incomparable Emil Griffith.
There he is, the great Emil Griffith. What a wonderful fighter, 54 years of age, and Emil Griffith, who, of course, in 3 epic battles against Denny Paré, the last one ending in tragedy.
Now would you rise to
when
respect
died
the national anthems, firstly, the United States of America.
That man, Emil Griffith. Stand by for the United States national anthem, the Star and Stripes.
Australia, sung by Jay Justin.
Jay Justin singing the Australian national anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia.
Ladies and gentlemen, with
1,000
pride and
on the fight.
fascinating anticipation,
Hey.
Bill Morty's Classic Promotions presents an international entree new, scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds between, from the red corner, scaling 62.75 kilograms, originally of Guayama, Puerto Rico, then and now of Brooklyn, the United States of America, the first of his race to win the featherweight championship of the world in a magnificent career that began in 1977. He has boxed 8 times in world championships and has proven himself against the very best that the modern era has to offer. His second visit to Australia, fostering qualities of bravura, impeccability, Juan Laporte.
Juan Laporte introduced to the fans, and bouncing Juan Laporte gives the recognition and gets the recognition that he
And his
deserves.
opponent, occupying the blue corner, scaling 63.25 kilograms, hailing from Serov, the Ural Mountains of Russia. Victorious in 259 of 270 amateur clashes, which brought him the World Junior Welterweight Championship at Sydney in November of last year. He was twice European title holder and gold medalist at the Goodwill Games in the United States of America. In 3 professional bouts, has been successful on each occasion by knockout, validating singularly vivid, mystic classicism, Kostya Tszyu.
Great ovation for Kostya Tszyu. Hasn't taken long, Jeff, a couple of fights, and they love him. Have a listen to the turn-away crowd here tonight. Bill Morty's had to turn them away from the Darling Harbour Convention Centre.
They'll love him more after tonight, let me tell you.
Tony Rock, Keith Dudley.
A lot of betting at ringside, and it seems there's a lot of money betting that Juan Laporte can quickly finish the professional career of Kostya Tszyu.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of money saying that he can't.
Well, that remains to be seen. You're very confident. It's going to be a tremendous contest, and here we go. The fight that, Sydney's been waiting for a long, long time now, and they've turned out in force. And Bill Morty's Classic Promotion welcomes you to the fight in your favourite club or hotel. Lots of great leagues clubs throughout the metropolitan area taking the fight tonight, and great to have you aboard. Commentary from yours truly, Peter Peters, and the Triple World Boxing Champion, Jeff Fennick. Round 1, and of course Kostya Tszyu hasn't been beyond 1 round and about 50 seconds of another one in his professional career. Just Juan Laporte at the moment, gloves up high, great defensive boxer too. Underneath goes Kostya Tszyu, and then a right over the top from Tszyu. All action is Kostya Tszyu early, left, very compact little fellow from the Ural Mountains in the Soviet Union. Now living at Mascot in Sydney, right near the International Airport. He's adopted the South Sydney Rabbitohs because they're the closest football team to him, and he's certainly going to an Australian school to learn the language, came in under the Australian flag, and already the Sydney fans are taking him to heart. And he's all action, and of course he's giving Juan Laporte, Jeff Fennick, the respect that he deserves.
Oh, definitely so. Laporte's also giving him respect, but what Kostya's doing at the moment is he's really thinking. Every time Laporte crouches, Kostya's waiting. He knows Laporte wants to come up with punches. Kostya's a very, very good thinker. I'm not saying Laporte's not. Don't take anything away from him. He's a great fighter.
He certainly is, and it's a marvellous hurdle for young Kostya Tszyu to have in just his 4th professional fight. He's been 5 minutes and 23 seconds as a professional. up against a man now that knows all the shortcuts, all the ropes, and a man that's been 12 rounds with Azuma Nelson. And I don't think I have to say more about Juan Laporte than that.
The thing is, will Laporte try to fight or will he try to survive? If he tries to fight, I don't think he'll survive.
Kostya Tszyu going over a lot of uncharted waters tonight. Not so far, though. We're still in round one. And a pretty tentative start from both fighters, showing respect to the other. And the tongue comes out from Kostya Tszyu as he concentrates and goes underneath Laporte. He stands his ground and then gives as much as he gets in close against the very experienced Juan Laporte. Laporte comes out of it when Johnny Gauchi asks him to. A left underneath from Kostya Tszyu. Arms upheld, held up high by Juan Laporte. Laporte hasn't tried to do much in the early moments of this fight. It's Kostya Tszyu just trying to work him out too. Hasn't really thrown a full-blooded punch. And Kostya Tszyu left and then right from Tszyu. Laporte just moves away, uses the ring beautifully. A left and right, and that's a solid punch from Kostya Tszyu. Good combination from Kostya Tszyu. The left from Kostya Tszyu. Emil Griffith yelling out orders to Juan Laporte. Well, Laporte just drops his guard there, and quickly Kostya Tszyu comes at him. There's the end of round one. No punch really creating any havoc in that opening round, Jeff Fenech.
No, definitely not. Both there are both really thinking at the moment, but still the first round would have to go to Kostya Tszyu. He was the aggressor. He scored with a couple of punches where Juan Laporte didn't hit him at all. Juan Laporte's trying to draw him in. He's a great counter-puncher. He's a great thinker, but at the moment they're playing the thinking game.
A 10-9 round for you for Kostya Tszyu?
Definitely so.
Okay, so a 10-9 round according to Jeff Fenech, and Jeff will be scoring the card. We'll have Fenech's update right throughout the fight tonight. Brought to you by Bill Morty's Classic Promotions, the junior welterweight international contest between Kostya Tszyu and Juan Laporte. There's Kostya Tszyu now. Johnny Lewis never ever yells much between rounds. I don't think I've ever seen him yell in all the fights that you've had, Jeff. He'd be just calmly telling Kostya to just take it easy for the opening couple of rounds.
Definitely so. He'll be telling him to keep his hands up, keep tidy. You're fighting a great fighter, which he is.
Round two of our international junior welterweight contest. Kostya Tszyu starting to warm to the task now, and a little bit of the eye of the tiger as he comes out with a lot more determination. Juan Laporte drops the gloves and then just skips around centre ring a little, and he heads away from Kostya Tszyu. Tszyu, ever the pursuer. Great ring craft though by Juan Laporte. Laporte obviously has studied as much as possible the videotape of Kostya Tszyu, but he hasn't seen a lot against Darryl Hiles, Ned Simmons and Tony Jones, the total of just over 5 minutes and 20 seconds in those three professional fights. But this is the one that Kostya Tszyu has to win if he's going to climb the ladder of success in international boxing. Up against a real mountain to climb for him tonight in Juan Laporte, who came twice to fight Jeff Fenech and never got in the ring because of injuries and illness to Jeff Fenech. And Juan Laporte in Australia, and hoping that a victory tonight can give him another contest against my co-commentator Jeff Fenech.
Well, if he gets through tonight, Peter, I'll accommodate him.
Okay, so there it is from Jeff Fenech. If he gets through tonight, he'll accommodate him. But he's got his hands full at the moment with Kostya Tszyu. A right from Kostya Tszyu, and then he swung around quickly by Juan Laporte, who was there 1 minute and gone the next.
Yeah, very, very clever Juan Laporte. That's, you know, if anything, that's his biggest positive on his side tonight is his experience. But this fellow that he's fighting, he's had 300-odd amateur fights, and he's also been around for a very long time.
Laporte bobbing, so too is Kostya Tszyu, and Tszyu just getting to the edge of Laporte's chin there, and then follows through with a right, and right over the top there from Juan Laporte. Standing his ground on that occasion and letting one fly, but doesn't find the mark. And Kostya Tszyu aims up with the left there, pushes him away, just misses the target. Plenty of power behind that. Kostya Tszyu, a good right through there, leading with the left and then coming through with the right, trying to size up his opponent in the neutral corner above our commentary position. But Juan Laporte has none of that. Gets on his bike and gets away back into open waters, as it may be, away from Kostya Tszyu, and the bobbing ponytail of the former Russian in unison with the punches he throws now. and a left there from Kostya Tszyu, trying to get through that very tight defence of the experienced Juan Laporte. We're in round 2, and Kostya Tszyu sizing him up and finding it none too easy to get through Laporte's defence, Jeff Fennick.
Definitely not. A great defensive fighter, Juan Laporte, but if he's waiting for Kostya to get tired, he'll be waiting for a long, long time.
Okay, so a long wait yet, you reckon, for Juan Laporte?
Well, at least another 20 or 30 rounds, and we're not capable of that here tonight.
Okay, there's the end of round 2, and once again, it was Kostya Tszyu taking the fight up to Juan Laporte, Jeff Fennick.
Definitely so. Another round had to give to Kostya because of that, and there weren't too many scoring punches, but if there was any, it was done definitely by Kostya Tszyu.
Okay, so you've made it to 2-10-9 rounds to Kostya Tszyu over Juan Laporte. Kostya finding it difficult, as I mentioned during that round, to get through that defence and evasiveness of Juan Laporte, but that's to be expected for such a good performer. I mean, Kostya Tszyu on screen now against this man, Juan Laporte, is not in with any mug, is he?
No, definitely not. And what he's also doing is, and if you can just look deep down into Kostya's eyes, he's trying to outthink Laporte. He's waiting for his opportunity. He's not going mad. And, you know, people are saying how he's only had 3 professional fights, but he's very, very experienced. He's a thinker.
Okay, the thinker against the experienced Juan Laporte from Puerto Rico, now living in Brooklyn, and certainly a fight that has captured the imagination of the Sydney public. It's a turn-away crowd for the first time that I can remember in a long time in Sydney boxing. Around a crowd of about 3,800, nearly 4,000 here, packing the Darling Harbour Convention Centre tonight for this international junior welterweight contest. We're in round 3. Juan Laporte, both boxers wearing black trunks tonight, but Juan Laporte, good left there by Laporte, getting through the defences of Kostya Tszyu, and that's Laporte's best punch. But Kostya Tszyu coming back with a body punch and then a right, and staggered Juan Laporte. The body punch and then the right over the top, and Laporte buckled a little. There's a right to the side of the face of Juan Laporte. The top punching now of Kostya Tszyu. The left of Kostya Tszyu now, and Laporte moving back.
He hasn't been hurt yet, Laporte. None of those punches staggered him. They hit him on the gloves. They moved him back, but he has not been hurt as yet.
I think the body punch, Greg, Jeff, opened him up a little bit. He sort of bent a little bit, and the one to the side of the face, just a little bit of a twinge of the knee there. And Juan Laporte in round 3, certainly finding that the punching power of Kostya Tszyu is very, very strong.
Awesome.
Tszyu moving now and starting to get into top gear. He's been warned about lowering his head into Laporte, but the eyes of Kostya Tszyu, the eye of the tiger now, as he pursues Juan Laporte. Laporte just a little bit puffy around the eyes, and now great respect from Laporte to his opponent in Kostya Tszyu. Young and enthusiastic.
Cut him down the middle then with a beautiful body shot.
Yes, certainly did. A lot of power from Kostya Tszyu as Laporte goes over the top there of Juan Laporte.
Johnny Lewis and Kostya Tszyu have been working on very hard body shots. Yeah, if you only see it up the gym, if he comes into practice tonight, it'll be a winner for him.
Okay, certainly the pursuer in this fight is Kostya Tszyu, the youngster, chasing the veteran, trying to line him up, and certainly proving a handful for Juan Laporte. Laporte doing his best, Jeff Fennick, to stay away. He's in the corner now, and he almost rushes him in a tackle style there, head down, and John Gauci, the referee, warns him. That's a desperation move by Juan Laporte, already in trouble.
Definitely, he was a little worried then. He thought the only way out of this is to do what he done. Well, if that's the way out of it, you've got to do it.
Well, you certainly do, and right now, the respect, I think, that Juan Laporte's got for this young fellow has suddenly grown into enormous proportions, because it's incredible to see this young boxer pursuing around the ring one of the best competitors of the modern era in his division. I mean, he's a former featherweight champion of the world. He's fought 8 times in world championship bouts. He's been in against the best, and right at this moment, he's doing his darndest to stay away from Kostya Tszyu, who is a real whirlwind with a ponytail.
He hasn't been hit yet either, Zor, believe. He hasn't been hit cleanly.
Oh, good right there by Kostya Tszyu through the defences of Juan Laporte, and a great round there for Kostya Tszyu.
Another round that cost, and Peter, the left hook that you call that did hit Kostya early in round 3 was the only punch in the fight that has hit Kostya Tszyu, and it wasn't a real punch. It was an open-handed slapping hook.
So he's caught one, and not a real good one, in 3 rounds.
Definitely so. He's a great fighter. You know, you know, we'll talk more about it as the fight goes on, but I mean, you know, and still I say, take nothing away from Juan Laporte because he's a great fighter, but, you know, nobody knows how good this Kostya Tszyu is, and they'll start talking a little more tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, because it's been a very impressive opening 3 rounds from Kostya Tszyu. When you consider the young fellow is in against such a well-performed performer as Juan Laporte.
Like I said, if he's waiting for him to get tired, he's going to wait a long time. This kid don't get tired.
Okay, Laporte getting the mouth guard in now. The stool goes out. Emil Griffith just says a silent word to him. Round 4 now between Juan Laporte and Kostya Tszyu. Kostya Tszyu again the pursuer. Misses with a right and a right over the top. Good evasive action again from Laporte, and he's going to have to continue to do that. And as Jeff Fennick said, if he's waiting for Kostya Tszyu to get tired, then he's going to be waiting a long, long time tonight. Kostya Tszyu looking, and the eyes never leaving the target area. Never leaving the target area. Going underneath there to the ribs, the left there, but Laporte drops the hands and takes it on the right forearm. Left and right there by Kostya Tszyu. Laporte comes back with a short right. Kostya Tszyu underneath now. Taking the fight up to Laporte. Laporte grabs. Kostya Tszyu in close. Short jab and follow through, says Emil Griffith to Juan Laporte, but right at this moment he's retreating, as he's done for most of the 3 and a bit rounds in this fight.
And just say again, Zorb, I mean, I'm not sure if Juan Laporte's here to try to win the fight or try to survive. I mean, because all he's doing at the moment is surviving. He's not trying to win the fight at all. He's not trying to do anything. And if he's waiting for him to get tired, he's waiting for the wrong person.
Laporte moves away from that clinch there, and he finds Kostya Tszyu right in front of him. No need.
Like you said, Kostya's right there in front of him. He wants to try to hit him, let him try, but he's bright. I mean, he is. He's worried about trying to hit Kostya Tszyu because he knows that he'll get it back in return. Kostya's very quick, very aware of what's happening out there.
There he certainly is. He's got a very mature mind on a young body out there, Kostya Tszyu. He looked very calm and in his corner before the fight. You saw him in the dressing room, and he was very calm there. And for one so young, he just oozes confidence in his own ability.
Nice left hook by Kostya Tszyu then, Zorb.
Certainly was, and move your body, move your head, is screaming Emil Griffith from the red corner, and a worried look on the former world champion at the moment in the red corner. Emil Griffith seconding Juan Laporte tonight. Kostya Tszyu moving up, always moving up in this fight.
Nice jab by Laporte.
Laporte trying to work out a way through Kostya Tszyu, who's walking up and trying to get through the defences now again of Juan Laporte. Laporte got the gloves up high on the back pedal. Kostya Tszyu seeking him, stalking him, and underneath goes Kostya Tszyu as Laporte broke. Right up over the top there for Laporte, in close. And the crowd screaming for Laporte to have a go. And as Jeff Fennick said, he's merely trying to survive out there. There's the end of round 4. A round that not a lot of punches thrown in that round by either fighter.
Definitely not in a round that's made my little mate Peter Matreski lose a little bit of money because he's had a quiet bet that it wouldn't go 5.
Wouldn't go 5? Well, he's got... we've gone 4, 5th coming up, so he's got a couple of minutes.
Well, not just that. Like I said, I mean, you know, there are fighters that can go out there and survive, and that's all that Laporte's doing. Like I said, it's another round across the zoo, and I mean, you know, it's a shame that you got to lose money against somebody, you know, that's out there, you know, trying to survive. It's as if Juan Laporte's had the bet himself.
Okay, you don't think he's doing enough?
Well, I mean, like I said, if he thinks he's waiting for this young kid to get tired, he's going to get a big shock. You know, he's not doing anything.
Maybe he's fighting to instructions. Maybe they're the instructions. There's Johnny Lewis talking to Juan Laporte, talking to Kostya Tszyu at the moment. And very calm. Kostya improving his English with every week, and he's coming out to do business. Pretty impressive opening 4 rounds for Kostya Tszyu. Jeff Fennick has him in front by 4 points after 4 rounds. Round 5. Left from Kostya Tszyu. Around the corner goes Juan Laporte. Obviously, he's got to do more in this fight, Laporte.
When Laporte fought Azuma Nelson here in Australia, he complained that Nelson just ran and wouldn't go up and wouldn't fight his fight. Well, he can't complain about this kid because he's right there in front of him.
Left and right now by Kostya Tszyu. Kostya Tszyu stalking all the time and very busy little fighter. He's got the bandy legs, moves up towards Juan Laporte, who appears to be bigger around the shoulder area than is Kostya Tszyu, but Kostya all muscle, very fit performer, always moving up. He means business. He knows this is a stepping stone to something big for him. He's left his home country to make a new home in Australia and a name for himself in the world of professional boxing. Russia has never, ever had a world professional boxing champion. Maybe this young man in the future is going to be just that.
Also, you've been a little busy with the football, but they've just had their first one.
They had their first
a Russian flyweight or bantamweight or something in the lighter weights just won a world title in the United States. But Kostya will be the second, take my word.
Kostya will be the second.
Or he will be the best.
Okay, here he is going after Juan Laporte now in round 5. And just poking out, the pace of the fight has slackened off a little as both fighters seek a way through some very good defence, and Kostya Tszyu just trying to work out a way of how he can nail Laporte. That left got through, right over the top, a good punch from Kostya Tszyu, but again, the great hand speed in defensive work of Juan Laporte saved him from any damage there. He hasn't been hurt except for possibly in round 2 and 3 with some good body work by Kostya Tszyu. Kostya Tszyu just poking that left out now, no real pressure being put on Laporte. A left misses and then a left poked out by Juan Laporte. So Laporte trying to get a little bit busier, but finding the young fellow a tough target to hit. And out goes the left again of Kostya Tszyu. Both boxers in centre ring now, prepared to throw out the left. And the left from Kostya Tszyu goes out now from Juan Laporte. No pressure, no power from either punches, just waiting for the opening. Oh, good right by Juan Laporte there. And a big clap from his corner. That flashed out like a cobra, seeking its target there from Laporte. Laporte crouches now, calling on all his experience. And that certainly looked a deadly right. Jeff Fenech had it made its mark.
Well, he just threw another deadly one. They just missed, but Kostya's away to it, and Kostya's got a good chin. And you know, this is a better round for Laporte, but he's definitely not winning it. But he's definitely trying a little harder in this round.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's thrown some good right hands, and the right hand obviously is the punch that he feels and his corner feels that can maybe get him into the red in this fight, or into the ascendancy, because certainly in the opening couple of rounds that young man has had the ascendancy. Do you score that a level round or another round for Kostya Tszyu?
Yeah, I don't score even rounds. Kostya Tszyu scored with more jabs. Laporte scored with a few punches in that round, but still the round went to Kostya Tszyu.
Okay, the round according to Jeff Fenech to Kostya Tszyu, so you've got him winning every round so far. I've squared the last 2 rounds. A good round, I thought, that one for Juan Laporte.
Yeah, it was a better round for him, but still, like I said, did he score with as many punches as Kostya Tszyu? No.
Not as many, but a couple of good punches.
Well, then you can't score it an even round.
Can't score it an even round. It'll be interesting. I'm just looking at the judges' card. He scored it even.
If West score more tries than Manly, who wins?
Manly win, because Matthew Ridge kicks more goals.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jason Taylor's not bad.
Round 6.
Here we come for round 6. Juan Laporte and Kostya Tszyu. A lot of people didn't think it'd get this far one way or the other. So he's now in uncharted waters, is Kostya Tszyu. 5 rounds Jeff Fenech predicted. So we're in round 6 now. Turn-away crowd here tonight at the Darling Harbour Convention Centre. Kostya Tszyu and Juan Laporte. Once again, Laporte, gloves held up very high. Left from Kostya Tszyu, trying to get through the defences. Oh, he's been, I don't know what he saw coming then, but he did a 360, Juan Laporte. I'm sure he almost slipped, saw something coming, and Kostya Tszyu backed away, and Laporte almost lost his balance. Left now by Kostya Tszyu, trying to get through this very high and very guarded defence of Juan Laporte. Kostya Tszyu, left, just about gets through. That slow left that the Russians employ, as Jeff Fenech said earlier, just poking that left out like a paw, and then a good right, very flashy right from Laporte. But Kostya Tszyu comes back straight at Laporte. Throws the left, cocks the right. It's ready. Both boxers with a venomous right, willing to throw it at any time. Crouching now is Juan Laporte. Good defensive boxer, and certainly calling on all his years of skill, 32 years of age, and a long, long time as a professional. His ring craft has to be admired. Very clever around the ring. Good left there. Just failing to find Laporte flush from Kostya Tszyu. Bit of a welt under the left eye of Juan Laporte as they box just above our commentary position. Kostya Tszyu unmarked. The young fellow certainly hasn't really been tagged by Laporte so far. The crowd anxiously awaiting some real action and expecting it at any moment. Laporte goes to the body. Left again to the body, but not scoring. Doesn't reach the target area. Quick hands from Kostya Tszyu in close, and again the crouching style, the survival kit comes into being again for Juan Laporte. Left and a right over the top there by Juan Laporte. Left misses, right underneath by Kostya Tszyu to the body area. Referee Gauci calls on both boxers to release from the clinch, and they do towards the end of round 6. Once again, the fight taken to Laporte from Kostya Tszyu. Underneath goes Laporte, and Kostya Tszyu underneath in kind. Left from Kostya Tszyu, right underneath. Left from Tszyu again. There's the end of round 6. And again, most of the pursuing done by Kostya Tszyu is a little bit frustrated at the tactics of Juan Laporte, Jeff Finnick.
Yeah, well, Juan's got those hands right up high, and, you know, his defence is great. But then again, I said, like, you know, is he here to win or here to survive? I mean, I know I've said it plenty of times, but to me it's survival, because he's not making Kostya Tszyu get tired by doing what he's doing. That's nothing.
Are you impressed with Kostya's performance?
I think he could work more to the body and maybe put a little bit more pressure on Laporte as well, make him work a little more. But
he hasn't come up with any answers away or through the defensive style of Juan Laporte.
Well, he hasn't made any. He hasn't made those openings. He knows his defence is tight, and
you think he's frustrated?
Well, he's been hesitant. I'm not sure about frustrated. He's hesitant about doing what maybe his mind's telling him to do.
What would Johnny be telling him?
Well, Johnny would be happy with what's happening. Johnny just wants him to win. Johnny doesn't need no knockout. Nobody does. But Johnny would just be telling him to keep his hands up. This boy's dangerous, you know.
Okay, Kostya Tszyu again chasing after Juan Laporte. Well, Laporte's been in reverse gear almost from round 1, and he's pretty to watch. And he's a great evasive fighter, but there's the right getting through there, and just a bit of a slip there from Laporte as that very crisp right from Kostya Tszyu got through. Once again, Laporte lunging forward, but Kostya Tszyu ready for him, shapes to throw the right, holds it back, doesn't throw it, pokes out that left, goes underneath again to the body of Laporte. Laporte crouches a little bit, trying to make the target a little bit harder. Just a little bit of a welt under that left eye of Juan Laporte, and the eyes of Kostya Tszyu never leaving the eyes and the face area of Juan Laporte, looking directly down his target area. And Laporte dancing away. A left and a right there from Kostya Tszyu.
And them kind of people shouldn't be allowed in the fights.
No, they shouldn't be.
Should be the Tszyu where he belongs.
Yeah, left getting through from Kostya Tszyu.
I'd like him to walk in the ring and tell one of the boys how useless they are.
Yeah, unbelievable they are, some of them, and I hope that that didn't come across our audio, because it was uncalled for. Both boxers in centre ring now. Laporte waiting for a way that he drops his gloves in probably hoping for Kostya Tszyu to make a mistake. And there's the left coming out very quickly from Laporte, and when he does throw a very quick left and right, it comes with amazing speed, but he just hasn't thrown enough of them. He hasn't been allowed to throw enough of them by the ever pursuing Kostya Tszyu. Tszyu left again from Kostya Tszyu to the temple of Laporte. Laporte standing there, pokes out the left, a classic left there, but again on a good left again from Juan Laporte. Back goes Kostya Tszyu, and Tszyu moving around now, trying to find a way through Laporte. Laporte with a left and a right from Laporte, a left from Laporte, and a left again misses from Juan Laporte. Right does it over the top, and Kostya Tszyu just for a moment there looked a bit surprised at a bit of an onslaught coming from Juan Laporte, who has stepped up the pace in round 7. This fight starting to take hold, and the crowd sensing that Laporte is about to make his move, and a surprised expression on the face of Kostya Tszyu when he got a couple of good combinations from Juan Laporte.
It was just a real smile. He knew that he got hit, but he wasn't hurt.
A left there from Juan Laporte in his best round of the fight so far.
Yes, this is his best round. He's there with a good 4 or 5 jabs, an overhand right, you know.
Towards the end of round 7. Right. Trying to get through the gloves, but there's the end of the round, and Laporte measured that round to a nicety, didn't he? He was walking away just before the bell went.
Yeah, if any round, if I was to give Laporte a round, I'd maybe...
10-9 to 1 Laporte that round.
Maybe.
Well, he's finally given him a round. And I don't doubt that he took up the running in that round, Jeff, and some good combinations there, which put on the face of Kostya Tszyu just a change in expression. He's been super confident. He looked a little bit nonplussed there when he was struck with that combination from Laporte. Well, it's just the first signs in the fight that things weren't going his way.
Well, yeah, so he should. Well, I mean, it's the first punch he's been hit with, Zorb, so he should be surprised.
Well, the first punches,
well,
because
that's right,
you've given the round to Laporte.
Yes, I did.
Seconds down.
Here we come for round 8, and a much better round 7 for Laporte. Be interesting to see if he continues in that vein for this 8th round. Break, says referee John Gauci. Both boxers agree. Oh, that's a better left getting through from Kostya Tszyu, and a right there from Kostya Tszyu. Only a crisp short one, but it certainly had the desired effect. The left there getting through again Laporte's guard. After a good finish to round 7, Laporte's gone back into his shell a little bit. It's again Kostya Tszyu doing the pursuing. Bit of a smile on the face of Kostya Tszyu, and down goes the head of Juan Laporte with a bit of help from good left and right there from Kostya Tszyu. Short, crisp punches. The left being caught on the gloves by Laporte. Again, caught on the gloves by Laporte. He just pulls his trunks up a little bit as he moves into centre ring, starting to move towards the Russian a little bit more, but Kostya Tszyu still there, ever present, not going to go away either. Looking for the opening. The left poking out, the right cocked, ready to create havoc right over the top, but not a lot of power in it. Into the 8th round now. Juan Laporte, he's been here plenty of times. Not so for Kostya Tszyu. Left and a right by Tszyu. Left underneath, but taken on the forearm by Juan Laporte. Right by Kostya Tszyu again.
Was that the forearms or was it the forerib?
I think it was right on the elbow, forearm.
Forerib.
Give him the credit. Left underneath, fails to find the target. Left again by Kostya Tszyu.
Peter, I have utmost respect for Juan Laporte, but this is his second fight here in Australia, and I'd say he's thrown a total of about 50 punches in 2 fights, which isn't too many.
Do you think it's survival?
Well, I mean, he did nothing against, as everyone else, it was a boring fight. In this fight, he hasn't done much at all.
Okay, Jeff Fennick not all that impressed with Juan Laporte, but he's still in there, and we're in round 8. He had his best round in round 7, gone back into his shell a little bit more in round 8, and certainly hasn't carried on from the good work in the previous round. The crowd, capacity crowd, starting a little bit restless. They want to see a bit more action in this one. A bit difficult for them to understand why Laporte won't stand there, but obviously he's felt the full brunt the Kostya Tszyu punches in those early rounds, and perhaps hoping that the young fellow's going to hit a brick wall as he's going through uncharted waters. As I've said, he hasn't been this far in a professional fight before. Indeed, he hasn't been this far in his lifetime in boxing. There's the end of round 8. He's hoping that he just runs out of petrol, Jeff Fennick. That's the only answer to his boxing style.
Definitely so. I feel the one thing we're learning tonight is that Kostya Tszyu is inexperienced, and he isn't he isn't the full professional that we want him to be yet. But I feel with this fight he'll learn. Like, he hasn't been getting in close, working to the body, forcing Laporte back onto the ropes. And if I was fighting out there today, I think that's what I'd be trying to do. I'd be trying to really work to the body to get them hands dropped and work the body to death. That way, making some openings to come over the top. And Kostya is really showing us, that he's a great thinker and a great stylist out there, but he's just not putting the pressure that I expected that he would.
Do you think he's done enough to get the fans back again next time, to impress them enough? I mean, they expected a lot from him. They expected a lot from Laporte, and of course he can only do as much as Laporte allows him to do.
Exactly right. Well, it hasn't been the greatest spectacle, but once he wins his fight, people will know that he can beat world-rated and world-class fighters, and that's what he's here to do tonight.
Yeah, well, I've got to say he's well ahead on points, but there's a long way to go. We're in round 9.
I definitely thought he'd win by knockout. I really did.
Okay.
I thought it'd be early too.
Okay, so on that score, you're a bit disappointed.
Well, I'm not really disappointed because I feel that Laporte's got a great defence, but I thought I'm more disappointed in Juan Laporte because Laporte really hasn't had a go. He's kept the gloves up there on the side, which is great, but I mean, if you're coming to fight, and he did say there was no way that a bloke with 3 professional fights could beat him, and he hasn't done much to try to stop this young kid from beating him.
Well, I doubt if he said that. He certainly didn't say it to me.
Oh, no, he said that. He said that there's not, I don't mean that he disrespected Kostya at all, but he did say, he said there's, not a fighter in the world that's had 3 professional fights that could beat me.
Okay, so here's Kostya Tszyu in his 4th professional fight. According to Jeff Fennick, he's well ahead, and it's going to take a strong finish from Juan Laporte to even get close in this fight. But at the moment, Laporte doing nothing, standing there like a statue in Martin Place with gloves on, and just daring Kostya Tszyu to get through his defences. Kostya Tszyu equally as frustrated, throwing plenty of leather, a lot of it reaching the gloves and the forearms of Juan Laporte, but plenty getting through too, and he's doing a lot of scoring.
The biggest criticism, if any, of Kostya, there you go again, he sees the gloves are up there and he just keeps tapping them, hoping they're going to open. It's not a door that he's knocking on, it's not going to open, and Laporte's not going to open, that's where he should be going to the body.
Should be going to the body, says Jeff Fennick, and he's done precious little of that at the moment. And looking at Johnny Lewis's expression in the corner, it's one of, I think, that he feels the same way, Jeff, that he should be trying to go to that midsection and do some damage there, because he's certainly not doing any up top.
Definitely not.
Round 9 of this international junior welterweight contest, Kostya Tszyu versus Juan Laporte. Capacity crowd here at the Darling Harbour Convention Centre, a turnaway crowd, and they're a little disappointed at the moment that they haven't seen a stand-up toe-to-toe encounter, and this has been a round where round 9 where there's hardly been any point scoring. It's been mostly Kostya Tszyu trying to get to the head area of Juan Laporte, which is covered up, and right now it's Laporte throwing out a left and then throwing out another one, trying somewhat to change the trend of the fight and exactly moving after Kostya Tszyu. Perhaps Kostya getting sick of walking up and thinking that maybe he's going to fight him on the back pedal now.
We won't have a fight if that's the case.
Well, there's Kostya Tszyu moving back a little bit more than before, right over the top from Laporte and right underneath. And Laporte's corner quite happy with that performance in round 9 from Laporte. How did you see it, Jeff Fennick?
Well, if it's an even round, I'll give it even. I don't give even rounds. I want to give it to Kostya as well.
Okay, well, you've got him well in front.
Well, I mean, there hasn't been much action, Peter. I mean, if anything, I do believe the crowd will be disappointed unless this card girl drops the top now. They'll be very disappointed.
Okay, there's the corner of Kostya Tszyu and Johnny Lewis looking increasingly now, Jeff Fennick, like this will go the distance, as did Juan Laporte with Azuma Nelson.
Yeah, but I think it's
Well, Costa
destined.
hasn't really hurt him, has he?
Well, he hasn't hit him. You know, he's tapped him around, and you know, he's won most rounds by doing that. But no, he hasn't hit him. He hasn't hit him with his force at all. He hasn't hit him with one clean punch.
Down. 10th and final round.
Like I say, you know, people are smiling and looking and things like that. Oh, did he come here to fight, or did he come here to put his hands up?
Okay, 10th and final round, and Juan Laporte versus Kostya Tszyu, and the crowd screaming for some action in this final round.
I think we'll get some from Kostya this round. I hope so.
Well, he is just on his bike, and he's quite willing to survive. I don't think he can hope to win the fight. Surely not. Kostya Tszyu has thrown 3 times more leather.
A little more than 3, I'd say.
A little more than 3.
So Kostya's thrown 30 punches and
Left going out now by Kostya Tszyu. Final round of this junior welterweight international contest. 10 3-minute rounds. The final round in progress now. Left and right by Kostya Tszyu.
I still think Johnny Lewis would be happy. It's a good performance. It's been a tidy performance.
Kostya indicating there that he got one on the head. There's Kostya Tszyu going, trying to get through, trying to get value for money.
Kostya accidentally put his head on Juan Laporte, and Kostya apologised.
Jeff Fennick very proficient in speaking the language from the Ural Mountains. Left by.
He certainly didn't learn that from Jeff Fennick.
He didn't? What about those little forearms?
Well, he certainly, I'm talking about saying sorry.
No. Final round, into the final moments of this contest is Juan Laporte. Not going to win many friends with his performance tonight. Kostya Tszyu copping a couple of the ribs now as Laporte tries to open up a little, but it's the rib area, and he's hanging away there, hammering away to the rib cage of Kostya Tszyu. And Tszyu, mouth open, right there by Juan Laporte, and they're clapping and cheering in the corner of Laporte, feeling that, I don't know, trying to influence the judges or the crowd here, that they're pretty happy with his performance. But it's now Kostya Tszyu looking as though he too quite happy to see the end of this.
Yeah, he is.
He's been 10 rounds for the first time, and that's probably a very difficult job.
Yeah, it sure is. He maybe even, to me, isn't punching with that authority, which might mean he's a little tired, but, you know, he's done a great job. He's certainly class.
Yeah, he is class, Jeff, and I think we're probably underestimating the performance when we consider how good Laporte has been and the years of experience that he's had. It's going to be interesting to see how they judge this fight.
Well, mate, you know, I've never seen a fight if they judge it any other way than a very, very convincing victory to Kostya Tszyu.
Well, I think Laporte has got to win clearly to win, and I think he's done that. There's the end of round 10, and I don't know, the fans giving Kostya Tszyu a nice warm round of approval without going Burko.
Oh, definitely not. Well, it was definitely not a performance to go Burko about. But, you know, it was a good performance. It was a classy performance. It was a good win. And, you know, it's a sign of things to come.
Okay, both boxers shake hands, and we now await the judge's decision here at ringside at the Darling Harbour Convention Centre. Bill Morty's Classic Promotions tonight, bringing you to your favourite club and hotel an international junior welterweight contest between Kostya Tszyu in the blue corner versus Juan Laporte from New York in the red corner. It went the distance, 10 rounds. We didn't see a knockdown. We didn't see the likelihood of a knockdown. We saw Laporte very, very